Shalom, it's Brother Yasha Mazakar from the Israelite Times Report. Want to say all praises are due to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth and sincerity. Right off top, I know a lot of brothers have gotten this already, but I still want to report on it anyway. Most of you probably already heard of this and are already on top of the news. But this is for, some of the people may not have heard of it yet. Says the Digital Currency Monetary Authority, DCMA, launches an international central bank digital currency. It's coming from Benzinga. It says, there's multiple news outlets that are talking about this. It says a Universal Monetary Unit, UMU, symbolized as an ANSI, is legally a money commodity. Says can transact in any legal tender settlement currency and functions like a CBDC to enforce banking regulations and to protect the financial integrity of the international banking system. Says banks can attach SWIFT codes and bank accounts to a UMU digital currency wallet and transactions SWIFT-like cross-border payments over digital currency rails, completely bypassing the correspondent banking system at best price wholesale FX rates and with instantaneous real-time settlement. Sounded real convenient, right? It says in an IMF interview with Tobias Adrian, financial counselor at the International Monetary Fund, he states cross-border payments can be slow, expensive, and risky. You see how they're doing this? You see? They're collapsing the system. They're already, what do you call it? Not downplaying. You can say they're downplaying, but they're demonizing the old system to bring in the new system. Right? Oh, the old system is too slow. Right? I'm going to read that again. It says he states cross-border payments can be slow, expensive, and risky. So you got your convenience in there by saying the old system is too slow, it's too expensive, and risky. So there's your safety, right? They always play this card, the safety card. It says in today's world of payments, counterparties in different jurisdictions rely on costly, trusted relationships to offset the lack of common settlement asset together with common rules and governance. But imagine if a multilateral platform existed that could improve cross-border payments. So here comes your solution. See what they're doing? Problem, reaction, solution. It says at the same time, transforming foreign exchange transaction, risk sharing, and more generally financial contracting. And this is a key point right here. According to Darrell Hubbard, sounds like a Jake name, right? Darrell Hubbard, the executive director of the DCMA and the chief architect of UMU. It says this is a quote. This vision expressed by the IMF is the exact solution the DCMA is delivering to central banks worldwide. Let that sink in. Worldwide. Yeah. Oh, that beast system is coming together, isn't it? It says adopting a global localization public monetary system architecture. UMU can be configured to operate according to the central banking regulations of each participating jurisdiction. I want to skip down here. It says, according to Durrell, UMU is not attempting to disrupt the international monetary system. If, in fact, it strengthens it by helping the IMF achieve its stated mandate to provide economic and financial stability to its member states. UMU is a game changer in how cross-border payments are transacted and migrates against seasonal and systematic local currency depreciation. So there we go. I mean, these people are checking all the boxes, and they keep using this word global when it comes to the economy, right? They keep using global economy. There's a little part of this article that I didn't read. It says the DCMA introduces universal monetary unit as crypto 2.0 because it innovates a new wave of cryptographic technologies for realizing a digital currency public monetary system with a widespread adoption framework encompassing use cases for all um, con- constituencies in a global economy. I got tongue twisted. In a global economy. So that's what this is. Moving towards that global economy. The hell with your nation states. The hell with your so-called sovereignty. No. Like Zbigniew Brzezinski once said, U.S. will be the first and last real superpower, and then it would collapse into a new world order. I'm roughly paraphrasing, but he said something along those lines. Okay? So, again, we don't know the time nor the hour. We don't know when the ish is going to hit the fan. But we know that it's stinking and we can smell it. When it actually hits the fan and everyone smells it, we don't know. But we smell it. We smell bullshit. Okay? And we know that it's not going to be long now. Fed now, CBDC, this universal monetary unit that they got going on now, talking about setting up a global economy, cryptocurrency that the whole world can use and tie in together. We know it won't be long now. Plus, with all of this fake ass carbon footprint crap, this climate change, and everyone that knows, anybody that's in the know who the real what the real carbon is that they want to eliminate, and that's you. They want to eliminate you. Okay? Depopulation. That's their agenda. All right? Point blank, period. Okay? I want to get Habakkuk second chapter, start at the fourth verse. I always start at the first, but I want to go to the fourth. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. His soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. But the just shall live by his faith. That's what you're going to need, man. That's what you're going to need. It says, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. They're very proud and boastful about setting up their new world order, and they're not even considering the Lord. They've been talking a lot of ish about the Lord. Saying they don't need God anymore. They're not afraid of God. This guy, Noah, what is it? I forget his name. Damn. Harari, one of the small hatters. one of the elite small hatters, said he doesn't care if God bring the flood. I mean, that's what he's saying. You know, he's a proud man. Okay. It said, neither keepeth at home. No, they don't mind their own damn business. They're in everybody else's. U.S. got military bases in damn near every country in the world. Always telling somebody else what to do. It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as death and cannot be satisfied. Esau is never satisfied. Can never get enough. Ruled the entire world. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and this devil could never get enough. No. He could never get enough of destroying the people of the Lord, especially. But all the other nations as well. Okay. It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. I mean, that's self-explanatory. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? And that's what he's trying to do now. Steal the people money. As if he hasn't already stolen enough. But that which little that the people do have, he want to take that too. And these niggas act like they want this kingdom to continue. They won't be happy until Esau just stripped them bare and leave them with nothing. Long as a nigga has a bucket of chicken and a basketball game to watch. But again, I said it before, I say it again, the time's going to come when your foolishness and your folly is going to have to be put to the back burner. That's coming. That's coming. It says, woe to him that increases that which is not his. That's all these devils ever do. How long? And to him that leadeth himself with thick clay, says, shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and wake and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? Because these other nations are going to rise up against you. Okay? Esau, you're going to be the new taunting proverb, and you already have become that. Everyone's already laughing at America now. You got a president that eats ice cream, is a well-known pedo. Everyone knows it. Falls walking up the damn steps getting into Air Force One. Every other month he's falling like he's a literal representation of Babylon at this point. And niggas can't see it. Jake can't see it. These Edomites see it because they're complaining. They're mad as hell. But stupid ass Jake can't see it. Okay. It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, or the remnant of the people of the remnant of the, it says, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Yeah, because these other nations hate you. They just deal with you because you're in power. But these other nations are cutting away from you. You had the president of, I believe it was Kenya. I think his name is Rotu, something like that. He said in a few weeks that basically the dollar will be worth nothing. He told his people to get out of the U.S. dollar. They're not putting that on the news like that. You have to go to alternative media news sites. Why is he wanting his people to get out of the American dollar? Why? He knows something. He knows something. There was a time when you would never see that. So something's happening. Then you got the BRICS nations. People are cutting away. These nations are cutting away from the petrodollar. But at the same time, this is being done because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So we know that this is being done intentionally to set up the one world currency, right? The one world government and the one world currency. But you're just fulfilling prophecy. So we love it. You think that you're getting ahead, and we're laughing. We're laughing. Right? It says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood and for the violence of the land, because you got this land through violence. You got everything through violence. Your gift was the sword. The thief cometh not but to kill, steal, and destroy. And that's all the hell you've done since you've been in power. You've shown no mercy. None. At all. So while your children are complaining because Babylon is fallen and become a laughing stock, we rejoice. Okay? We rejoice. And we know we're not letting bygones be bygones. It says, of the city and of all that dwell therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, right? That he may be delivered from the power of evil. Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people. That's what you've done. That's what you continue to do. Look at what the Clintons did to the people in Haiti. I mean, we can just go on and on and on. They always say, oh, you guys always complain about things that happened a long time ago. Look at what the Clintons did to the people in Haiti. Look at what Bill Gates did, even on the west coast of Africa. Look at what these people are doing. Experimenting on people with shots that haven't been approved or nobody knows what the hell they do. You go over there and just sticking them in people, see what the end result is going to be. You got a lot of blood on your hands, Thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and hast sinned against thy soul. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood, and establish a city by iniquity. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood. And that's exactly what the hell you've done. But Esau's so arrogant and proud that he thinks that he's done all these things, and yet he's still going to move forward with this new order, this new world order. He don't even stop and consider the Lord. He don't stop and think to himself, oh, the Lord's going to stop us from doing what we're doing. Maybe we're pushing this too far. No, he doesn't have a conscience. That's why we need deliverance. That's why we need deliverance in the worst way. It tells you that, if the Lord didn't, roughly paraphrasing, if he didn't cut it off, if he didn't shorten the days, for the elect's sake, there would be no flesh saved. This demon, this devil that's in rulership right now, he's on a complete rampage. He's a madman sparing none. He's not even sparing his own family. He doesn't care. You know, the earth was truly given into the hands of the wicked. But it also says that Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of the world that follows after, roughly paraphrasing. Right? Isaiah tells you the saints shall take the kingdom. Will take the kingdom. You know? And that's what we're looking forward to. We're looking forward to rulership. We're not looking forward to trying to compromise with our enemies. Not the man of the Lord. Not. First of all, you have to have understanding. What is it? Ecclesiastes. Surely oppression make a wise man mad. Well, first of all, you have to be wise enough to even know that you're being oppressed in the first place. Because a lot of our people don't even know what they're so oppressed and downtrodden. And I shouldn't laugh, but it's the truth. They don't even know they're being oppressed. They think they're free until something happens and they find out that you're just a nigger and always will be in this system, in this current society. They have to hit that wall, They have to hit that wall. When they try to do what Esau does, then they find out. They see Esau do something, they try to follow behind him, and then they find out that no, nigga, you don't have those privileges. Your master's degree did not give you those privileges, All it gave you was a reason to hold your head up high and feel overconfident about your current situation. That's what they gave you. Okay? So while they're setting up this new system and you niggas and you women too are walking around proud as hell. And you just think that you're somebody important because they gave you a government badge. Especially in DC, everybody has a government badge. Everybody works for the government in DC. So people walk around with their government badges. They feel special, they feel important. All that's going to end. It's going to come a time if you don't have that chip in you, you're not getting access to nothing. And no, you won't be able to go to court and sue or demand that your rights remain intact because you don't have rights in the first damn place. You're just too stupid to realize it. 2020 should have taught you that. They were literally telling you that there's this thing called essential workers and non-essential workers. What were they telling you? What were they telling you? You're not important. What you think that's over? You think that's over? Hell no. That was just a precursor. It was just a prelude. It was a dry run. When I was in the military, we had this thing called real world exercises, right? Real live exercises where we would conduct, not to get too detailed, but we would conduct real world exercises, meaning it wasn't just a simulation. We would actually perform certain exercises, drills in the real world, and people around us wouldn't know what was going on. Regular everyday citizens, they would think it was an actual emergency. But we were performing a real world exercise to make sure we were on point in a real world situation. That's what 2020 was. It was an exercise, a real world exercise, because they're preparing for the real thing, which is going to be the MOTB. So yeah, when they gave you curfews and told you had to be in the house unless you had certain paperwork, or you had to prove that you were an essential worker. That was just a prelude. That was a real world exercise that they were performing. So shit's gonna hit the fan out here, and it's gonna get real hectic. Cause that 2020 thing, they actually had police out in the streets. You know, but again, they weren't so aggressive because it was mainly just an exercise. But when they get ready to implement that MOTB, they're not going to be merciful. There's not going to be no mercy in that day. Plus they have their AI technology and the robot dogs, robot police force. All of that's coming. They didn't create that just so you could look at it on YouTube. You know, watch little YouTube clips. Oh, look at the robot dog. No. They got robot dogs that are armed. Okay, and ready to go. It's gonna be a lot of death, famine. I wanna get let me get Isaiah 66:15. It says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh." Yeah, that's how the Lord's gonna plead with you. You know, all that God is good all the time. Yeah, that's about the end. All of it. Your pastor preaching prosperity doctrine, that's about the end. You know, the money under the mattress, that's about the end. All of that 401ks, all that's about the end. Because you're gonna have to get that chip, or you will not function in this society. That's why you have to get the love of the world out of your heart. Because if you love this world more than you love Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, then what's going to happen? In that hour of temptation, what are you going to do? You're going to say, man, I gotta, I done came this far. I was about to retire in a couple of years. Damn, man. Then you're going to have your woman in your ear telling you stupid if you don't take it. Oh, what's the big deal? It's just a damn microchip. You mean to tell me you're not going to provide for me just because of a damn microchip? I can hear Eve now calling you stupid for not taking it. And because you're a nigga and niggas cave in to their woman, what are you going to do? I understand, what the brothers are saying, but, got to take care of my woman, I don't want to be like some men that ain't able to provide for my woman. She everything to me. Yeah, it's going to get that real. And the Lord going to jack your ass up for it too. Because your stupid ass didn't get enough oil. You didn't seek the Lord while he could be found. You thought it was all fun and games. You thought, wearing the fringes meant you were delivered. No. You're going to be tempted. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. And I got to go through it too. But I already hate this damn world. Now to cut off every stupid woman that I had attached to me. Some left, some I cut off, Not to cut them off just for the sake of cutting them off. But you know how it is, They're going to try to get in between you and the Lord. That's just their way. It's just, it's just the reality of things. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying it's just the reality. At some point, she's going to try to come between you and the Lord. Period. Because she don't give a damn about your salvation. She don't care about that. She didn't get with you so you can be delivered. And your friends, same thing. They're not hanging with you to if you got friends, they're not hanging with you uh to see you become a man of the Lord and stand your ground. No. They're gonna be looking at you like you are crazy. I don't understand, man. It's just a microchip. The same people that are talking trash, talking about, I ain't gonna take that. No, man, I ain't gonna take that. They're going too far with that. When that chip gets rolled out and them rappers come out and start rapping about how they got their chip and they make that thing seem fly, like it's the poppinest thing ever. Because that's what they're going to do, just like they did with the shot in 2021. Because you got the love of the world in your heart, you're going to be like, well, I've been thinking on it. I seen people do it. I've been thinking about it, so, I might as well, just go ahead. Yeah, that's why the slain of the Lord shall be many. It says, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. All right. It says, they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh. Niggas love that swine. Right? And they also love false doctrine, which is also like eating swine. Right? Eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together, saith the Lord. The Lord is not playing in these last days, man. All right, Shalom is Brother Yashimar Zakar from the Israelite Times Report, IsraeliteTimes.com. All praises are due to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Peace and blessings to all the brothers spread across the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth in sincerity. As you know, there's always something going on. And, I just, in the spirit, I was looking through the news and came across this article here from Zero Hedge. And it just kind of stuck out to me. It was originally written on Epoch Times. And it says majority of New Yorkers feel subway is unsafe at night. It says a quarter worry about safety during the day. And this is where we are, man. This is the, these are just the beginnings of sorrows. And these people are soon going to come to a realization that it's not all fun and games out here. I see people walking by and it's like they got their heads up their asses, they're just walking in the clouds and they just think everything is just peaches and cream. And even some of the women, I noticed because I work at night, so I noticed that women just walk around, it'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning, by themselves, just walking around, in the DC area. And I say it all the time. I just look at them like they're out of their damn mind, you know, and they walk around all diva like, skimpy, everything's showing. And I say to myself, man, this is all going to come to an end soon. Because what these people don't know and don't realize is that these top elites of Esau, they are purposely letting prisoners out early, and violent criminals, letting them out early. And the reason being is, as we know, order out of chaos. They want the chaos in the streets. They want crime to skyrocket, and so they can have their excuse for their robot dogs and everything else. Their robot police force, because that's Esau's next move. Order out of chaos, to create as much chaos so that they can have the excuse to say, hey, we need to bring in these robot police officers. And then the whole racism thing too. They can say, oh, well, there's been too many racial issues, too much racial tension. We have a robot police force, they won't discriminate against people. But little do people know or understand that that's the setup. That's the setup. And Esau is always, crafty. And scriptures tell you he take crafty counsel. All these nations are taking crafty counsel against the children of Israel, from the so-called blacks to the so-called Latinos and Native American Indians of Negroid descent. They've taken crafty counsel. And even when the C-19 or the C-19 or the virus hit, and you had the rollout of the shot, who did they supply it to first? Who did they say they were going to give it to first? The blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. But why? They said their excuse were, because they're underprivileged, or they live in the poor neighborhoods, we have to give it to them first. But the shots were free, So all of this violent crime, which is skyrocketing, and letting loose these prisoners, this is all leading up to one thing. Everything is pointing in one direction, and we know what direction that is. The MOTB. Okay? So back to the Zero Hedge article, it says more than half of residents feel unsafe riding the New York City subway alone at night, and 1 in 4 feels that way even in the daytime, according to a survey conducted earlier this year. Right? And so they go into the numbers and everything else. It says the survey follows a series of high-profile crimes on the subway in recent years where people have been assaulted or even pushed onto tracks. And you got a lot of that going on. Because Jake is out here just acting crazy. Jake is just out here acting crazy as hell. It says, see if I can find it here. It says, yet the level of crime in the subway system in general hasn't changed much over the past decade, and is even slightly down so far this year compared to last year, according to New York City Police Department data. And that's a lie. It says what has increased dramatically However, is crime in the city more broadly. Felony assaults, like I said, is more like violent crime now. Felony assaults in particular have been on the rise for years, and so far this year have been, it says this year, let me see, I'm sorry. It says, and so far this year have been at their highest since 1998. It says also up a petty petty theft such as shoplifting, misdemeanor assaults, and car theft. Murder has somewhat declined this year and last year, but is still up from 2019 after a dramatic rise in 2020 and 2021. Well, that was because they let those, like I said, they let those violent criminals out. So it's, it's getting real out here, and people are going to find out that it's not sweet. Babylon is a real hellhole. And if you can excuse my language, it's a real shithole. And that's why you have a lot of people leaving, A lot of people that come from different areas, different, all across the world, different countries, different nations, different nationalities, they're packing up and leaving because it's not the same. And I talk to people all the time and they tell me this, this place just isn't, it's not what it used to be. But as times get rougher and rougher for people, they're going to be scratching their head trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And some people are already doing that. But some people, they're still asleep. They have no idea what's coming. Some people think that things are going to bounce back and they're going to get better. They have no idea what's coming. I'm going to get Ecclesiasticus 11 and 25. It says, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction, and in a day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. Right? So we've seen this, right? We've seen this during the 2020 situation, right? People were, oh my God, what's going on? And I say it all the time. I used to get calls from people. They know it's something about me. They may not quite understand, but they know that I'm up on things, right? And I know what's going on in the world. Most of the time I'm a laughing stock. They talk trash behind my back. Say little funny things. But then when the ish hit the fan, then they want to call me, hey, what's up, brother? What the hell you want to talk to me for? I'm the laughing stock, right? Right? So then as soon as, things, the elites pump faked everyone, pretending like they were going back to normal. Like the scriptures say, in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction, That's just the way it goes, And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. And that's coming. It's going to come that time when, it's going to feel like they were never on top. They're going to feel like they were never on top because they got to crash this banking system in order to set up the new system. That's what people don't understand. They just think, oh, they're bringing in the CBDCs, the Fed now, and they think it ends there. No, they got to crash the system. They got to crash the system in order to set up the new. It says, for it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deeds shall be discovered. All right. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure. So all of this folly, all of this foolishness, all of this putting off and thinking that, the Lord ain't going to return, the Lord ain't going to do nothing. Babylon is just going to continue forever. They got another thing coming, and I got this before, but I'll get it again. Because Jake think the prophecies won't happen. So I'll get this right quick. It says Ezekiel 12 and 21. It says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that you have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged, and every vision faileth?" That's what these ignorant ass niggas think. The days are prolonged and every vision faileth. They think that just because something doesn't happen right away, that shit just gonna continue on. Excuse my language, but that's just the way these ignorant ass niggas think. And the Lord put that spirit on them. He blinded them. He didn't give them the spiritual eye so they can't see. Right? It says, "Tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease." Again, this is what the Most High Power Yahweh said. I will make this proverb to cease. All right? So the day going to come when they're not going to be laughing and mocking and scoffing. The scoffing days are soon about to come to an end. We're going to see that. We're going to see that. Already people are starting to, not everyone, but a lot of people are starting to figure out, hey man, this digital currency thing, this CBDC thing, this Fed Now thing is starting to look like the MOTB. And, I get people that aren't even in the truth to kind of say, hey man, that thing, that thing looks different to me, man. I say, yeah, it should look different to you. Because that's how they're going to control you. It says, I want to say this one more time. It says, "Thus saith the Lord power, Yahweh, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel." Right? Because Israel is a people first. Israel is a nation, and that spirit of the prosperity doctrine and things always being the way that they were, never going to change, that's going to cease. It says, "But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision," right? "For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel," because the Lord going to shut all this stuff down. He's going to shut it all down. All that mocking is going to cease. Okay? "For there shall be no more any vain vision, nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am the Lord, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass." Right? The scriptures say, the Most High is not mocked. And these people have been mocking the Lord for quite some time. And the Lord's going to visit them for that. It says, "I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass. It shall be no more prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and I will perform it, saith the Lord." Okay? So just understand that for those brothers that's been holding on to this thing and fighting demons, whether they be spiritual or just niggas, bothering you, mocking you, talking shit, people putting you down, in whatever way that they can, just understand that that's not going to last too long. That's not going to last too long. This ain't 2008 no more. You know, all that Barack Obama bullshit, hope and change. Yeah, that's dead. Okay? These people have a plan to move into their so-called New World Order, and they're moving fast. They're not playing around. And while Jake, dumbass, is out here chasing vagina, while Jake is out here chasing vagina, and these women are playing these silly-ass niggas, while that's going on, Esau is steady moving towards this New World Order, this one world currency. And what Jake's stupid ass don't understand is that in order to achieve that, they have to shut this system down. This current system is about to implode. And it's going to take more than just you having some money saved up. It's going to take more than that. You're going to need a spiritual backbone, for, lack of a better term. You're going to need a foundation, a spiritual foundation. There's a song that says you got to believe in something, right? Because there's going to come a time where things are going to get real spiritual. It's going to get real spiritual, man. And Lord willing, we are those men, but the world doesn't know it. The world doesn't know it. And they look at us like we're just regular old niggas, nobodies. That's all right. That's all right, because the scripture also tells you there's going to come a famine of the word. So there will be a time when they will be looking for us. Like, man, them Israelites, man, they was saying this shit was going to happen. Yeah, and they're going to be looking for somebody with spiritual power or spiritual understanding, at least, because it's going to get real spiritual. It's going to go beyond that point of stupid nigga shit. Just stupid nigga shit, everyday stupid nigga shit. It's going to come a time when LeBron James' new scoring title isn't going to matter to you. And that time is fast approaching. Because in the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. It will not tarry. And the reason why that's so beautiful is because it says, in the end, at the end, it shall speak and not lie. So it's a beautiful thing for us to have been warning and warning and warning for all this time, for all these years, just for people to blow us off, say, oh, ain't nothing happening. And then in the end, it speaks. What's speaking? The word of the Lord. It's been speaking. It's just that you had the privilege of not listening and watching because it didn't affect your life immediately. But that's soon about to change for you. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found.